Sunday, the 30th of July, and we are on the Australian dollar, US dollar. So let's have a quick recap of this market from last week in relation to our Sunday analysis, and then we'll have a look at the market for the trading week ahead. Okay, so coming into last week, we were sitting right here. Now, what we went over was that the market was still technically bullish. We were really looking for a move up above the 8,000 tag. And if we come to the left, we were using the previous swing right here. So this whole section right here, around about 8,035 all the way up into 8,100. There are still resistance levels sitting higher. However, this was our main resistance level, and this was the only real area we were looking for those potential sell positions, unless we've seen the market starting to break down once again. Now, what happened was the market continued spiking up. It then made a nice strong bullish move up on the Wednesday, came up into that resistance level, and we've seen a nice strong sell on the Australian dollar. Okay, so coming into next week, what are we looking at? Well, the first thing is, we just scroll all the way back, we still have our key levels of resistance lining up with this previous swing, and also the nice spike up coming into 13th and 14th of May 2015. So we just mark this one in, first of all. Really 8,165 to around about 8,125. Just taking that strong previous swing as your level. Then we're into the key levels that we went over from last week. Really 8,105 to 8,087. You've got 8,070. Really that's all the way down into 8,033. You can actually bring it down a little bit more just to take into consideration this spike up right here at 8,025. Now this whole section up here constitutes good resistance. These are really the only levels I'm looking for sell positions on this market until we start to get further bearish signals. So if we come back up into these levels, once again, still happy to look for sells. Now for buy positions, first of all, buying pullbacks. The main pullbacks we're really looking at, although we came down and tested the 7,780 level, you can see the market breaking up, making that small pullback and testing before it bounces up again. So although this level right here is support, in the longer term, if we start to see this market pulling back, for me, it's very likely we're going to see it coming down further into stronger levels, around about 7,750 to 7,728, potentially all the way down to 7,720 to around about 7,700. So these levels moving forward, for me, are key support. If we see that stronger move down, in the medium term, it's very unlikely we're going to see it happen in 1 week. Might do, you never know with Forex markets, you can get very, very strong sudden movements. This whole level down here is key support. Now, in between these two levels, we are really looking at recent price action to give us some clues. Now, key support from these levels is really 7,900 down toward 7,874. If we're breaking down below this level, for me, the market is then turning bearish, and I'll be looking for that move back down into these key levels down here. Now we have the previous swing that we still want to keep on the radar. You can see as we came up and we made this test, still want to keep these areas on our radar, but for me, the key one is here here, and here. What you can actually see is if we just bring this up a little bit into around about 793. We have 1 and 2 support and resistance levels. All I'll be doing is looking at these ones as more minor levels. This one key, this one key, this one definitely key as potential resistance. If we start breaking up above this level, really there's the potential there for a much stronger move up on the medium to long term on the Australian dollar. This section at 7970 to 7943. You can actually bring this down a little bit further into the lows from Friday, which are 7937. Let me just adjust that. So coming into next week, this level here, if we're sitting above, I'm happy to look at it as potential support. If we start to break down below, for that resistance down or back down into these key levels at 7900, which again would be potential support. If we start to break below these levels, it's really suggesting that the bears are, in the short term at least, back in control. I'd be more than happy to look for potential sell positions. We're coming down into that more minor level here, the more minor level here, and I would be looking for that stronger move down into the 7750 area. If we see the rallies, as I've mentioned, key resistance up above, still more than worthwhile watching for shorting opportunities. So really next week, early warning signs of the bears potentially being in control would be a break of this level and a move down from this level. And then breaking below 7900 would be confirmation, really. And then I would be expecting the stronger move down. If we start to rally once again, this is good for potential sell positions if we see good price action. Now we are coming into August, guys. August can be a little bit of a tricky month. Certainly as a beginner, I see lots of beginners getting chopped up in the month of August. It can be very disheartening and it can cause you to suffer lots of losses and stop trading. Basically, you know, you're coming into August, it's a time of summer holidays. Traders are no different. Lots of them go on holidays and you can very often see markets simply go into sideways ranges. And also during the trading days, you can just see very, very small, tight ranges. What can happen is you can get lots and lots of false signals. You can end up getting chopped in and out of trades and suffering large losses. So basically, when you're coming to the markets, if you see very, very quiet mornings, you know, very, very small candles, the market doesn't really seem to be going anywhere. The best advice I can give is just to turn your computer off and come back the next day. There's nothing you can really do in regard to August if it is going to be quiet. The last couple of years haven't actually been too bad, but there's no real way to predict which years are going to be quiet. So that's the way I do it. I just watch the first, you know, from around about 8 AM to about 20 past 8. If the price action is very, very subdued, I'll just turn the computer off and have a day off. As a trader, that's part of what you have to do in August. There's really nothing we can do about it. So just look at it as a bonus that you get a couple of extra days off if we have quiet days. Okay, guys, so as always, I hope that was helpful. Hope you all have a great trading week next week. I'm James Orr, and thank you.